Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese forcing change in WNBA. 50% HCs fired brings up major questions on future. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese set the WNBA alight this year. Their record-setting play caught the rest of the league off guard, leaving many teams to be forced to rethink if their stars could play better. 6 head coaches have been shown the door. After Indiana Fever let go of Christy Sides despite taking them back to the playoffs after 7 seasons, myriad questions have cropped up. The first head coach to get the boot was Chicago Sky's Teresa Weatherspoon. She was brought in with the intention of starting a rebuild in which Reese and her fellow rookie, Camila Cardoso, were to be the bedrock. Halfway into the season, it seemed as if everything was going according to plan. But then, their post-Olympics performances showed that the team lacked in a lot of departments. That led to other Sky players venting out their frustrations, as the team eventually lost out on the playoff berth they held all season. After the Sky made the first move, the Los Angeles Sparks, Atlanta Dream, Dallas Wings, and Washington Mystics all opened the doors for their existing coaches to walk out. The last head coach to fall was Sides. These moves showed that most of the teams are seeking a change in leadership. But why? WNBA teams might seem trigger-friendly. Christy Sides was a second-year coach who helped elevate her star players en route to the playoffs. Teresa Weatherspoon helped Angel Reese dominate the league in rebounding numbers. Had her star not been injured, maybe the Chicago Sky could have played in the postseason. That said, Atlanta Dream HC Tanisha Wright had 2 postseason runs in her 3 years on the job. Dallas Wings fired Latricia Trammell, despite helping the team improve in her first season last year. However, this season saw them finish second to bottom, which ultimately proved her undoing. Then came the firing of Los Angeles Sparks head coach Curt Miller. Miller helped the Sparks' Dearica Hamby become an all-star and helped elevate rookie Ricky Jackson into a star. If not for injuries to Cameron Brink and Lexi Brown, the 2-time WNBA Coach of the Year season could have gone differently. Lastly was the firing of longtime Washington Mystics father and son duo GM Mike Thibault and head coach Eric Thibault. For one, the senior Thibault brought the first championship as the head coach. As the GM, he was looking to help his son develop a team capable of fighting for another. With all these accomplishments, small or major, these coaches losing their jobs could point to an apparent lack of patience from their respective franchises. But upon closer observation, the situation points to something else. Observing flaws. Christy Sides' firing possibly stemmed from her inability to help the entire team play well. By only focusing on the starting 5, the team did not have a response when certain situations propped up. Teresa Weatherspoon had a similar problem with the Chicago Sky. Her over-reliance on Angel Reese meant other players were not that involved. That led to those outbursts during exit interviews, all pointing to the fact that these coaches did not put the team first. However, that was not the problem the other coaches had. Thibault, Miller, Trammell, and Wright had a team-first philosophy, but even then, their teams were not able to level up their game, and cracks showed as good teams beat them soundly. More so for these Ford, their struggles this season showed just how some of their star players had a hand in their previous outstanding coaching records. It proved that these coaches were not able to stem the tide in case major injuries or suspensions came about. But that said, many coaches do stay on as franchise front offices know what to come around once those players are healthy. Then why fire them when there is a shortage of good coaching candidates? The Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese effect. The first thought that would come to the minds of most is that some of these coaches could switch teams. For instance, Connecticut Sun head coach Stephanie White is rumored to be the frontrunner to return to the Fever, whereas outgoing coach Christy Sides is being looked at by the Chicago Sky. A change of scenery might do a team, and these coaches wonder. But with the way Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese performed this season, a different question comes to the fore. Is the current crop of coaches in the WNBA not good enough? Caitlin Clark's brilliance on the ball ensured that she started all her games. Angel Reese did the same until her season-ending injury. Ricky Jackson, J.C. Sheldon, Camila Cardoso, and a few other rookies did play considerable minutes. but most of that was because the rest of the players were not good enough.